Robert Gibbs, press secretary for the White House, comes out and makes a statement to The Hill, which is, of course, covers Capitol Hill newspaper. And it's curious. He is attacking liberals and progressives. What people can't figure out is what's the timing behind this? Why do this now? There doesn't seem to be a legislative purpose. There doesn't seem to be an electoral purpose. In fact, going into an election might be kind of stupid to antagonize the people who are thinking whether to vote for you or not, right? But he can't help himself, and he jumps out and he tells The Hill, quote, "I hear these people saying he's like George Bush. Those people ought to be drug tested. I mean, it's crazy." Okay? Now, again, he told The Hill that this is the, quote, professional left that did this, and how dare they compare him to George Bush. First of all, there are some comparisons. I've made those comparisons. I made them on MSNBC last week. I made them before. I made them on this program. And it depends on the situation where it's warranted and where it's not warranted. For example, Obama stopped torture. We gave him credit for that. It's not warranted to compare him to Bush. But Obama's doing warrantless wiretapping, just like Bush did. Obama is signed off on extrajudicial killings of American citizens abroad. That's actually going a little further than George Bush. Now, you might call it crazy, but just show me your argument. You don't have an argument. You just want to say, oh, these crazy left, crazy. We're not left. We're not liberals. No, we're the center. And maybe that's their electoral strategy. But again, it's going to depress your turnout, and it's a terrible electoral strategy. Wrong on the policy, dumb on the politics. Now, he continues. He says, they will be satisfied when we have Canadian health care and we've eliminated the Pentagon. That's not reality. Well, you're right, Gibbsy. That isn't reality because no one in the country has said eliminate the Pentagon. Well, why do you set up that straw man? Because you know that the left wing is actually right, that you have not gone for all of change. And as I've said over and over, you've gone for pocket change. And so that gets under your skin because you know we're right. So instead, you make up arguments. You say, oh, they want to get rid of the Pentagon. What are you going to do? Again, see, Gibbs, what you're not getting is that's why we're frustrated with you. Because you think like the Republicans, you think like Fox News, and you think liberals want to get rid of the Pentagon? That's the nonsense you bought into? Come on. That's pathetic. And by the way, Canadian-style single payer. You know who was in favor of that when running for office? Right, President Barack Obama. All of a sudden, oh, you libs. And by the way, did we say, oh, no, you have to get single payer, otherwise we're against health care? No, we asked for a tiny, miney piece of the pie. It's a little public option, a little competition, so you change the system a tiny amount. That's what we asked for. Instead, we have the same exact system. You didn't just not fight for single payer. That was out of the question. You didn't just not fight for the public option, which is a tiny change. You fought to kill the public option. And don't pretend otherwise. So now why is the professional left angry with you? Because you earned that anger. Okay? And that's what's under your skin, because you know we're right. Now, he realized, oops, this is a faux pas. I shouldn't have done this. That was as I believe Tim Hardaway would say.
I regret it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That was just my mistake and my bad. And I'm sorry.
Right. My mistake and my bad. And then when asked to explain, hey, why'd you do this? Why'd you lash out? He has an interesting quote. He says, I watch too much cable, I admit. Who was on cable last week? Giving it to Obama left and right. Just asking, man. Just ask. Look, I don't know if you watched our show. I don't know if actually, I think it referenced something that Dylan Ratigan did, okay? And whatever he's watching, there's a reason why he's watching. There's a reason why I did it last week. There's a reason why Dylan Ratigan did it this week. Because we're right. That wasn't real financial reform. And you know it. All of you guys who went in there and said, oh, we're going to change the way Washington works. And then as soon as you got in there, you're like, all right, how does Washington work? All right, fantastic. Let's just do it just like that. Hopefully just a tiny bit better. You didn't try for change, Gibbs. And you know it, man. And you know it. So now the second part of his apology is very, very convenient. He says, so we should all, me included, stop fighting each other and arguing about our differences on certain policies and instead work together to make sure everyone knows what is at stake, because we've come too far to turn back now. Agree to disagree, Mr. Gibbs. I will not do that. We will not do that. And I'll tell you why. Because we're not Republicans. We don't bow our head and say, oh, whatever Bush said, it must be right. I mean, think about this. Think about that issue I brought up first. And there's 100 issues, and you know, you've seen me go over all of them, right? But think about warrantless wiretapping. They shreds the Fourth Amendment, no privacy rights anymore. They can just listen in on our conversations, American citizens. Now, why would I be in favor of that when Obama does it, when I wasn't in favor of it when Bush does it? What, am I stupid? Do I lack all principle? Do I lack ethics? That I say, oh, no, I play on Team Democrat. Does Gibbsy want me to carry his water? Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. No, I'll grab the water and carry it for you. No, warrantless wiretapping is unacceptable under a Republican president, under a Democratic president. If you're upset that we're upset about that, I got an idea for you. Stop doing warrantless wiretapping. And next time you go for quote-unquote reform, try real reform. Try real change. Now, that doesn't mean we're dissatisfied with everything. He also said, oh, they wouldn't be happy if Dennis Kucinich was in office. It depends. What would Kucinich do? Okay? Look, I give Obama credit all the time. We're roughly on schedule for, on Iraq. I even say, hey, you know what? I think he's going to get to don't ask, don't tell. I'm very confident of that. And I say people who criticize him, I get it, but I think he's going in that direction. Let's have a little patience. Now, the fact that he's against gay marriage is bewildering and pathetic. But, you know, I know him. He's a politician. He's getting there. All I'm saying to him is get there a little quick. Okay, but I can live with it. The Disclose Act that they were trying to push, I can live with it. It's not perfect. They have exceptions, but I can live with it as long as the core is okay. Lilly Ledbetter, etc. I've given him credit for all that. But he told us he was going to change the system. And when it came down to the nitty-gritty on the major things, healthcare reform, financial reform, he buckled. He didn't do it. He pretended to do it and then gave the bankers what they wanted. And finally, the perfect example of that and why we're all animated now and why we got under Gibbs' skin is Elizabeth Warren. You know you're not going to nominate her. You know it, right? And you know it's the right thing to do. You know she's a real fighter for consumers, and you know the bankers don't want her. And you're going to do the bankers' bidding. I'm telling you ahead of time. I'm in your face. That's what you're going to do. And then you're going to prove me right, and you're not going to nominate her. And then afterwards, you're going to complain that, oh, no, boo-hoo, the so-called professional left attacked us. Well, yeah, of course I'm going to attack you if you don't do the right thing, if you don't do what you promised, if you don't bring us change, and you give in to the bankers on every possible opportunity. That's why we attack you, because we're principled. And we actually mean what we say, unlike some candidates who campaigned on change and gave us pocket change. So you want to get mad at that, Gibbsy? Have at it, Hoss, because I'm going to come for you day in, day out.